I'm going to show you how to build this awesome high-rise apartment building coming up. Well, hey guys, what's up? It's Hex here, and today we have this awesome apartment building that I'm going to show you how to build. It's pretty big, so the tutorial, I might split it in half. We'll see how long it takes, but yeah, you can totally do this. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. The only thing that I would say is that it's a lot of repetitive building. I'm going to speed it up with some structure blocks, but if you're building this in survival, you're going to have some repetitive building. But that's okay, because it looks awesome. Look at this thing. This building was like designed for Minecraft. I actually found this as a Pinterest image. So this might be actually some building somewhere in the world. I don't know. But anyways, let's get on with checking it out. All right, let me take you on a little tour. Here it is. We're just going to kind of take a little spin around it. So basically it's built of these different rectangular sections that are put together in an interesting way and all tied together with that light gray concrete streak that you can see kind of going up and down there. Then down here we have a bit of a garage. I didn't really detail much of the garage. I also didn't detail the inside of the building just for time. I might in a future episode perhaps decorate a floor or two out of this thing, but well, you never know. Who knows what I'm going to do. All right, let's get on with building this thing. How about I don't know, right there. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to go 24 blocks this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Like that. Okay, and then you're going to build this 5 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to go ahead and fill that whole thing in with andesite. Here we go. Okay, next you're going to come to the end of your wall and you're going to build a deal like this. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to make this, the whole length of this thing 39. So that means we're going to start with 2. And then I'm going to put these into the ground like this to be kind of the edge of the parking lot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 36, 37, 38, 39. Now these last two, I'm just going to go ahead and put some andesite over the top of those. And we're going to build up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to carry this thing on. Guess how far? That's right, 24 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And guess how high we're going to build it? We're going to build it 5 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to fill the whole thing in with andesite. Okay, now that that's done, you can go ahead and fill in the other side and basically mirror what you did over there on this side. I don't think I did this on the other one, so it really depends on where you're building this, what you want to do as far as the size. If you even want to build this garage section at all, yeah, it's totally up to you. All right, anyways, just going to go ahead and get on with that. Alrighty, hey, you're doing great so far. This is pretty awesome. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fill in the bottom. So where all this grass is, I'm just going to fill this all in with andesite. Now, if you are building this in creative mode, what you can do is you can stand right here in the corner, hit your F3 button, and write down this number right here where it says block. On the left-hand side of the screen, there's like a chunk of stuff, and then there's a little break, and then there's XYZ. And then you could write down that, but I just like to look at block because it takes the decimals off, or it rounds it or whatever. So then you're going to be at 108, 66, negative 115. And then you just fly over to the other corner of where you want to fill, like this. Whoop. And then you're just going to type in this command, /fill. Oops, it has to be in small letters, by the way. Have my caps lock on. And then if you click on this, it gives this as one of the suggestions. No. Click on it and then hit space. Why is it doing that? Huh, it was doing it just fine. Anyways, we can see it's 88, 66, negative 79. I'm not really sure why it's doing that because I want 87. All right, well, anyways, you type in that number, 87, 66, negative 79. Oops, has to have a space. And then you type in the other number that you wrote down, which I wrote down over here, 108, 66, negative 115. And then you type in the word andesite, and it comes up, and you hit tab. I'm in 1.13, by the way, to make this, and then don't type any of these. Just leave it blank, and then just hit enter, and watch the magic. Pow! Done. Super easy. You might have known about that already, but now you definitely know. Then that way, if you want to add some extra detail to the floor or whatever, like maybe you want to, do this kind of thing and put in some just extra little whatevers, then you can do that. But that's like a nice, easy way to fill things. And if you're doing this in creative mode, it's going to be make the build go a lot faster for you. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to attach this side to that side on the top here. So 1, 2, 3, you're just going to basically fill this whole thing in over with andesite. Just like this. Done. That's easy. And then we're going to come over here and do the same thing. And we are done. There we go. Next, you're going to fill this entire middle section in with dirt, with grass. So you can use the fill command again, or if you're in survival, you just have to, get a bunch of dirt and fill it in. All right, next what you're going to do is you're going to take your stone slabs and you're going to go all the way across here for like a little border underneath. Kind of makes it look cool. And then if I was building this in a world like for real and I really wanted it to like be seen, I would cover this entire bottom with these things so that was like the surface of my garage. You might also like on occasion throw in, say, a sea lantern if you have them available, or some other kind of light source just to kind of keep mobs from spawning down in here if you were building this like in survival or something. So like that, and just put in, some lights down here in your garage to be the light source, just like that. If you wanted to get fancy with these lights and put something over the top of them, that's pretty cool too. But for now, I'm just going to leave this undone so that you can just simply enjoy the tutorial. But basically, you'd fill all of this in like this. What a pain in the what. Okay, once you've done that to your satisfaction, what you're going to go ahead and do is take these gray concrete blocks, and you're going to count 8 over from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you're going to basically place a pillar right here. You're going to have to break that out, make a little pillar, count 8, and do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and make a little pillar. Just like so. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make a pillar. Easy as pie. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take our half slab and we're going to go ahead and put it all the way around here. So there we go. Now we get to have the fun part and start building the actual building. Very cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to start 2 in from here. 1 and 2. And right there, in that very spot, that is where you're going to put the corner of your building. And then you're going to come over to 17 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Very good. Now you're going to go 17 this way. So this counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And then you're going to finish off the square. All right, just like that. There we go. I've got a nice square. Let me hover over the top of it so you can see what's going on here. Okay, there you go. Next, what we're going to do. What are we going to... Oh, boy, we're going to do it now. All right, here we go. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then place a block. And then it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we count over 7, and then there's 1, 2, 3 of these light gray blocks. Got that? You got that? Okay, cool. And then we're going to build that 2 high. And then we're going to do that on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1, 2, and 3 blocks. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's very important that you count this out correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Especially if you're like me and you're terrible at counting things. Okay, then these need to be 2 blocks tall, like this. That's perfect. Hey, you're doing a great job. Okay, next what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to go 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then you're going to place a dark concrete block right there. And then you're going to build the corner like that. And then you're going to put another concrete block. And 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, concrete block, 3 in the corner, concrete block, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 3, 4, that's a concrete block right there, and then 3 in the corner. I think you probably get the pattern. Okay, but here, the pattern breaks down a little bit if you want to put like some open doors here. So what I did was I went 1, 2, and then 1 there to kind of do like an open door. You could also go like that, or like that. Doesn't really matter, but I was kind of thinking like a sliding door that would be open at this point, okay? And then it would be too tall like that. All right, and then 1, 2, and maybe leave a space and right there for our open door like that. And then the 3 around, and then like this, and then 1, 2, 3, and then you're basically going to do that again and make it 2 blocks tall. Okay, so far this is what we have. I'll hover up here so you can count it. All right. Then what you want to do is you want to build this up like 1 more here, 1 more here, 1 more here, and 1 more here. Like that. Then you're going to go all the way around with this dark concrete right here. Okay, like that. All right, next you have to kind of make an important decision. Do I want to use birch wood as my floor? If the answer is yes, then go ahead and put a birchwood block, you know, in every place where there is a green block on the inside of this thing. So right there, and right here, and right there, and over here, and maybe 1 there, and you're just going to fill the whole thing in with birchwood. Alrighty, there it is. Now you're going to have to make your second decision. So what I did in mine is I left the... I basically made the floor on the next one up. So let me show you in here what I did. Let me just run over to this one real quick. Okay, so what I did is the first level of the bottom of my cube. If you look at the end of this thing, you can see it's divided into different levels. So then here's a level and there's a level. So the first level on the bottom of my cube, I actually didn't put the floor. But you could totally put the floor here. It really depends on what you want to do. But if you do that, then you're going to have a too high kind of lobby area. If you're down with that, you can go for it. But if you're not, then you want to do it the way that I did and put the floor on the next level up. So if this is like the first level that you could put a floor, then the next level up would be that one. And we'll get there soon. Okay, that is that. Now, the next step, we're going to start this first bottom, it's not really a cube, but this first bottom prism, I guess you could say. So then we're going to go ahead and put white concrete all the way around this, or whatever color concrete you want for this the major color here. All right, sweet. Next, what you want to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to extend this up by 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. And you want to do that on the end that you are going to have your, like the opening, if you will. So if this is the opening, this is going to be like I'll call this maybe like the side, even though there are kind of some openings in it. But this would be the opening. So our opening is going to face this way first. And so we're going to go up 3 blocks. And that's going to be like our head height. So basically the majority of the floors are going to be 3 blocks tall, unless you put your floor on this level as described earlier in this video. There we go. And you're going to make a beam essentially that goes all the way across and lines up with that block down there. So this beam right here is right above this one, if that makes sense. Okay. If you want to put the beams in later, that's fine. Then you're going to go up 3 more. Yeah. What in the world? I'm flying randomly. I am not touching my keyboard and I'm flying around. What in the world? Hey. That was crazy. All right. So 2 and 3. There we go. And then you're going to go ahead. You're going to put this across here. Like that. All the way along. Like that. And then this one. All the way along here. And you're doing great, by the way. Very good. And then you're going to go up again. 3 more blocks. And you're going to have another beam all the way across. Like that. And like this. So what you have is this configuration here. Next, you're going to take and fill glass in 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what? A space. And you're going to put 3 blocks there. And 1, 2. And then fill the entire thing in with glass like this. Son of a chicken. That'd be a rooster, wouldn't it? Do you call like a baby male chicken a rooster? That's a great question. It'd be like a Trivial Pursuit question. Okay, so that's the first layer. Each layer is going to be exactly like that, and then you're going to mirror it on the other side. I'm going to take care of all of that, and then we'll come back. Okay, that is done. Next, what? Man, I'm not so good with the pushing of the buttons and the little details, but we are going to build this thing anyway. Okay, so next what you're going to do is right here, on this block right here, you're going to put white concrete right there, and you're going to take it all the way across the front of your build here. And you're going to go this way, and then you're going to come back like that. And you're going to go all the way across the front again. Or I suppose this is the back, huh? Then you're going to come this way. Like that. All right. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to build up from each corner. Like this. And like this. And then on the sides where we didn't have the detail, we're going to fill the entire side in. So this entire side is going to be white concrete. Just like that. And on the other side, we're going to fill that in also with white concrete. Starting to see it take shape, huh? All right, we're going to fill this whole side in with white concrete. Here we go. And bada bing, bada boom, it's done. Very nice. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to build another layer just like you built on the ground here. So it's going to be too tall, and it's going to have glass and all this just exactly the same. So what we're going to do is come up here. So I'm on... So I'm on this side, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and put a piece of concrete right there, and same on this side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, gray concrete, and 2 of those. Now on this one, yeah, actually we will go all the way around. And then so right here, we're going to come and we're going to go ahead and put some dark gray concrete, or sorry, not dark gray, just regular gray concrete like that. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. You got to find the middle again, which it's nice to, if you're in creative mode, you just float down here. If you're in survival mode, you got to count the middle or find another way to do it. Like that. And yeah, all the way around. Here we go. Okay, that layer is done. Give you just a quick spin around. It's like this. All right. Very good. Next, what we've got is we've got this second tier up like this. And this one, the opening is facing out 90 degrees from the opening of the one below it. So the opening is going to be on this side and on the opposite side over here. Okay, so that's going to be basically facing where the sides of these are. Now, yeah, I will put the little windows in. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know you're worrying. Stop worrying. Don't worry about stuff. Okay, then, so what we need to do is we need to put a rim all the way around here and one of these sections. So we're going to go ahead and do that. All right, it just so happens that I loaded one of these earlier, or saved one of these earlier. So watch this. I'm just going to place this right here. This is the power of these structure blocks. And maybe I'll do a tutorial on these. You can find tutorials on structure blocks other places though, so that's why I haven't done one. All right, and I call this open section. I cannot spell today. W. The W came because of a misspelling somehow. Anyways, we're gonna go load, and it's not available. Why? Open. Oh, hey, I did it right this time. Open section W. There we go. Load. Now see which way it's loading it? I actually want it to go this way. So we're going to go ahead and hit 90 degrees. And now it's going the right direction. If you want to check it, you can hit done instead of load. Just double check it, make sure that it's in the right place. Okay, it is. And presto, there it is. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. There we are. Now, when I did this, I have to put this across here. That's going to look better. And then we'll break that out and replace the glass like that. And then we'll break this out. Now, if you're doing this by hand, okay, this one section right here is exactly the same as like this middle section right here, or the bottom section, or one of these. So that's what's going on there. Okay, so that section is just like that. I'll pause and take a look at it. Okay. Like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to put white concrete around it, just like we did on the one below. So we're going to go around like this in front of it with the white concrete, like that. And then we're going to go up, and we're going to go right here all the way across. And then we're going to go up right here. Like that, and basically frame in front of it with the white concrete. That kind of gives us that sort of box look. All right, and then next we're going to take this all the way back, and we're going to fill in these 90 sides, or the sides that are 90 to the front there. Okay, so I'm going to basically fill in all of this. Okay, so this entire side is going to get filled in. Presto, it's all filled. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing on this side. This. All the way around. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to fill in this entire side. Presto. Okay, so take a look at the orientation one more time. So here's the detailer, or the open side of the bottom box. Second box is this way. Okay. We have a couple of little detail things to do inside. First of all is this top right here. I didn't put a top over that, so we need to top this off with some dark gray concrete. Dark gray. I keep saying dark gray. It's regular gray. And this is light gray. I don't think there is a dark gray. I think dark gray is called black. Okay, just like that. Now, you don't really like this gray thing. You could continue this up in here, like if you wanted it to sort of be consistent all the way up. Because I think that the way that the real building is built is it has like these big concrete pillars that like kind of meet at the top. But this is totally unnecessary, and it's up to you if you want to do that. And it's more of like an interior detail that you can decide, do I want to do that or not? So it's entirely up to you. I left them off on the example. Okay, there we go. So this is this guy. Check him out. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and rim the entire inside of this with the gray concrete. Now, if I was building this in survival mode, I would probably be using my feather falling boots and an elytra so that as I get higher, if I fall, I don't die. Okay. The second thing is that I would probably be building the floors as I go. But the reason I'm not doing that is because I'm just not. There's no like real reason. So the next floor up from the very bottom, so this is the bottom, see how we're even with the grass, in my example one went right here. So I filled in this floor entirely, okay, all the way, like flat floor. And then I went up to this level and filled it in entirely. And then I went up to this level and filled it in entirely. Okay, but then I skipped, wait, how did I do that? No, I didn't put one here, sorry. I filled in, so I did that one. I skipped a dark concrete there. There, and then I skipped this one as though this was like kind of like a little higher floor. And then I went up to this one as a floor and then filled in like the floor in basically this top box. So I had floor there and then floor here. No, that's not right either. I did floor there and then left it so that this plus the little middle portion was open. So let me show you. So I did floor there and then the middle portion and then up there. Kind of gives it a higher ceiling on some levels. It's completely up to you whether or not you want to do a floor every level, every one of these gray concrete levels, or if you want to leave some of them open so that you can have some higher floors. It really depends on what you're using this for. Like if you're using this to build like maybe a basin or something, like you could totally you know, put like your storage in here, maybe smelting down underneath the thing, maybe like some farms in here, and then like, I don't know, enchanting stuff in here, and then have like your bedroom up there. I don't know. Oh, or if you're really intending to build an apartment building, then you would decide like how high you want the floors, how many floors you want, that kind of thing. Okay? It's completely and entirely up to you with the floors. But this is what I did on the example. I did that right there. So I'll take a look. And then of course this birchwood represents that I filled in the entire level at that Y height all the way inside. Okay. So next what we're going to do is we're going to build another one of these levels, and it's going to be identical to this one. And then on top of that level, we're going to build another one of these smaller, like one level boxes, but the opening is going to be on this side. Okay, there we go. So here is this level right here is exactly the same as this one. And then this box up here is exactly the same as this box, just facing the other direction. Just like that. If you want to know how I copied and pasted this, basically what I did is I took my structure block and I put it right here. And then like right there. So it's basically corner-wise to this. If you see that. Okay, and then I did the same thing on the opposite corner. So my structure block is down right there. So I'm going to take and put another one right here. And then this one here, I'm going to go to corner, and then I'm going to give it a name like name of thing. Done. Okay. And now that's a corner block, and you can see it's a little square. And then over here, we're going to go and you have to type in exactly the same name under save. So you're going to click this until it clicks save, and then you're going to go name of thing or whatever you named it, and exactly the same name. And then you click detect, and then you get this box that goes around it, and then you can check to see if like, okay, did I set everything up right? Is that exactly what I want to copy? And then if the answer is yes, then you go ahead and you click save, and then that will save it. So then if I go in here, I'm going to click not that save, but this save. And then that will save it as whatever you named it. Okay? Just like that. So then what I actually did is I copied this bottom little section plus one of these and saved it as a structure. That way it allowed me to copy and paste that on there really easily. But if you're in survival mode, of course, you have to build this by hand, and that's annoying. But it's going to be worth it because you have an awesome looking build. I mean, look at that thing. As I've been building this, I've been looking over and be like, man, this is a really cool build. I'm really proud of myself. I'm pretty good at this. Okay. Enough self-praise. Here we go. What we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and build this next box. Now, this next box is actually 2 levels. So this bottom one was 3. 1, 2, 3. the middle one was one level. Actually, this one and that one were one level. And now we have two of these sort of medium-sized boxes that are 2 levels tall. So 1, 2, and then a second one facing the opposite direction. Now, you'd think that they'd be alternating, but they're not. This one is facing the direction we started with. This one's facing 90 to that. This one's facing the direction we started with. And then the one above it is facing the direction we started that. The top 2 are at 90. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and build this one. So here we go. We're going to build another one of these sections right here. And then 2 of these. So it's going to look like this essentially. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to have one section. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2 sections like that. And then this is going to come all the way across just like we did on the very bottom. And this is going to come all the way across. Fill in your windows. And then the white concrete is actually going to go here. Except for the fact that I'm a total idiot and I forgot to build the bottom little intermediary thing. So I'm super sorry about that. Let's back this up. Back up the tape. So it's going to look like this. Okay, you're going to have 2 here, and then 2 like that with the windows and all, just like this section. So that's the 2, that's this 2. And then you're going to have a line going all the way across. Okay, and then with that, you're going to have white all the way along that. And then you're going to have 3. And then another one like this, okay, all the way across, but no white in front of that one. And then you're going to have 3 and then 1 up here, like that. And this top one will have white in front of it, if that makes sense. And then, of course, you know, windows here. Make sure that you build it such that it is oriented so that it is facing the same direction as the layer below it. All right, I'm going to finish that off and I'll show it to you. All right, there we go. There's our first medium section. Pretty cool. A couple of points to remember. Don't forget to put in these, gray concrete lines on the sides too. That's really easy to forget, or like to not do it, not put those there, and then later on it kind of looks a little funny when you put the floors in and stuff. But anyways, there's that one. Okay, the next layer up is another one of those, but turned 90 degrees from this. So the next one, it's going to have its opening. The next one is going to have its opening right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stack that on top. All right, we have our second medium one done. Check it out. All right, we've got that layer built. Next to put on the next layer. So we're just going to go around with our concrete like this. All the way around. All the way around like this. And we are back to the beginning. I just need to clean up a couple blocks. There's one and there's one. Okay, very cool. Now I just have to remember which way am I building this. Okay, so we're going to build it this way. So we're going to go ahead and put our box here. Okay, like that. And then we're going to go ahead and put in the some windows. So what I did on the example is I went ahead and I did that one, but I didn't split the center one in, and then I did this one here. So these are 2 away from the edge like that, and then we go ahead and fill that in with glass like that, and then we're going to fill in the entire middle with glass. It's like the penthouse suite or something. I don't know. It's just a little bit fancier, perhaps, area of the apartment. Okay, like that, like this. And then we need to build in this top row like this. Now you could use white right here if you want the top of your building to be all white. What I did is I actually made a ring of the gray concrete like that, because I think that actually looks pretty cool from the top. So that's what I'm going to do on this one. All right, so we have that line there, and then we're just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this with our glass panes here. What a pain. Ah! And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so we have both sides done now, that one and that one. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to continue the gray concrete all the way around, like that, to make a nice ring. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think? Oh man, that's a killer. All right, anyways, then the last thing we're going to do is make this little top detail. So what I'm doing is I'm finding, this is the filled in side, and I'm finding my 3 blocks of the light gray concrete, and I'm just finding where that is up here. So I've got my 3 right there, so it's all in line. And the illusion is, if you look at that one, that there's a sort of light gray line going all the way up to the top, and then on this side, it's like the light gray line goes all the way up to the top and then across like that, almost like that is the structure holding the thing together, which, like I said earlier, may be so on the real building that I'm basing this like from a picture on, but it's I don't really know that, but that's my guess. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and fill this in with the light gray concrete. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a double high 3 wide strip across the top like this. And it's going to go from the gray concrete to the gray concrete with the light gray. All right, and then the last thing, you're going to fill this in with white concrete. The last thing on this level, that is. Now, at this point in the build, I highly recommend that you light up the floor, because otherwise what you're basically building is a giant mob trap. Well, it's not even a mob trap, a giant mob spawner, really. So, yeah. I like to watch Hermitcraft, and in Hermitcraft 5, Good Times with Scar decided to build some skyscrapers, and he never lit the inside or the bottom up, and so then they always turned into these like giant creeper fests down below. Anyways, enough about that. All right, cool. So that's the entire thing built except for the interior floors, which I have explained, and I'm going to leave up to you to decide how you want to put those in. Let's see, where's our exit? Here's our exit. There we go. Very nice. It's looking good. Now there's one really important detail that's missing, and you might notice what it is. That detail is these little windows that go on the filled in sides. I've intentionally left them for the last because I want you to see where they go. It's just kind of easier to explain after it's all done. But if you were building this, you know, in your own world or whatever, then you could put them in as you go. So essentially where these are in relationship to the floor of each layer is that they are on the 3rd block up. So if you were inside of this thing, let me just bust in here, they would be like above your head. And the idea because of that is to allow light in. Now on these smaller ones, I did some in the floor as well because I thought that would be kind of interesting. Also from the exterior, it looks a lot better if you have them broken up like this. Okay, so let's start with this bottom one and kind of see what I did here. So let's see, on this side right here, what you're going to do is right here on this level, you're going to go down 1, and then you're going to go back 2, and you're going to break out 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4, but I think 3 will do it. And fill that in with glass like that. Okay, then you're going to go up to the second one. So the second line of gray concrete that's going across here, go down a block, come over here 2, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or so. It's not an exact science, but you kind of look at it and say like, that looks pretty cool. And then right here on the top one, I've put one like right where this thing is. So it's kind of like not in a great spot. And what I mean by this thing is this gray deal right there. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and put in that line right there. So that line is on the same as this. And so we're going to go 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. And then it looks like we need one more here. So maybe we'll just go, I don't even know what I did on the other one. It doesn't even matter because I'm just showing you how to put them in so that they're kind of balanced. There we go. Now, this type of thing, if you want to know, is called, I believe it's called fenestration. I don't know if it's still called that like on a modern building, but in like older buildings, it's a type of way to break up like a big white wall. Basically, you just put in some random windows that like don't really actually do anything. Now, these, I suppose, if you really built this thing, would actually be in positions that would provide some light. But yeah, still, they're more for the decorative exterior than the actual providing of light. But they do provide some light. So go like that. And then what I did on this one here is I just mirrored whatever I had on the other side. But if I was like legitly trying to decorate these and I was building rooms, I would make it so that this would like actually serve some sort of purpose in the room. So like if I had a bedroom and like the wall of the bedroom went like this, I might like shorten this so that it would fit like, so that this was like a window for the bedroom or whatever. So you can kind of adjust things to taste that way. But you always want to look at the wall from the outside and make sure that it looks cool and that the fenestration that you're putting in is actually serving the purpose to break up the wall and make it look kind of cool. All right, there we go. And I think I went 7 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another way to do this is on the inside, like this. And then right there, I just went right here. Okay, that is the large section. Let's go ahead and do the smaller one up above. So on that one, I started here, one block below this white right here. So I started 1 block below and then 2 back like that. And I went across quite a ways. I think it went all the way to there. And then I started here and went 1, 2, and oops. You don't want to start on the very end because then you got this thing going on. Let me show you. And I don't know, that just kind of looks funky from this angle. That looks funky. So I wouldn't do that. I would start it right on the second one back like this. So this one would be like if I put the floor in, this one would be sort of a floor window. It's a little bit strange, but it's okay. And then maybe I'll extend this one more and extend this one more, or 2 more like that, so that it looks like that. That's kind of cool. Maybe it's a little bit too long on the top one, so let's go like this and like that. Okay. Then you could do the same exact darn thing up here. There's a block missing. So again, we're 1 below the top and 2 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go 9. I think that's about what the other one was. And over, and then we'll put in a floor window here. So back 2 and up 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. Like that. Okay. And then mirror these on the other side or do another decoration on the other side. Doesn't really matter. I'm not going to do that just because it's like, okay, enough already, Hex. On these right here, let's just do this one real quick. Okay. So up 1, 1, 2. I know I just said I wasn't going to do this, but I lied. So take that. Just kidding. There we go. I didn't necessarily lie. It was more of a change of thought. There we go, like that. Okay, cool. Now you're really starting to see the style of this building really start to pop. See, it just makes it absolutely pop. Okay. Up here, I think I did like this. Oops, we don't want to start there, remember? Why doesn't this one have glass? Oh, it did. I was looking perfectly on at the glass and I couldn't even see it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. On the image that I got this from, they did something really interesting on one of these levels. They did something like, it's kind of strange. Like this, and then something like that. So that kind of looks cool. You could do something like that. You could also maybe put a couple over here. It's really like, there's no science to it. There's no like, oh, this should go exactly in this spot. You just kind of work these out until you figure out what you like. Let your creativity take control. There we go. That's kind of cool. All right. And maybe we'll do something a little bit different up here. On that one, I did this essentially. So we're going to start in that same place, 1 below, 2 back, and we'll take this across maybe to there. And we'll come down here, and we're going to go below this guy. So 1 below that, and then around 1, 2 blocks back. And we're going to come across to there. That breaks that up. Now at the top one is kind of interesting because it's the only one that's going to go in the middle. So it'll go in the center block. So what I mean by the center blocks is this is like the center one from vertically. The other ones are not vertically centered. And that sets the top apart really nicely. And if you bring this back to about here, I think it looks really good. And then there's a little one down here on the floor on the other side. And what I would do is I would decide like which way is the best view from my apartment building, and then put that so that like you were looking towards your favorite view that way. So because this is a super flat world, I would say that looking at something would be better than looking at nothing. So I'm going to look at this building here. That's my view. But perhaps you have a nice view of the mountains or maybe the city that you're building this in or something. I don't know. Okay. There we go. And that should do it. So of course, I didn't do these on the other side just for time, just to kind of help you see what to do, but that's the idea. That's the entire building. The next thing that you want to do on this one here, somehow when I told you guys the dimensions on this, I was like 2 blocks short. On this one here, I made a little hole so you could see down into the carport. Don't really know what that's about, but if you want to create that, then it goes like this. So like, let's go a block over like this and 4 blocks this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 5th one, we will open that up. And actually, let's place a block on top like that. There we go. And then we're just going to go across, 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 so that we're 1, 2, 3, 4, and right there. Okay, we're going to get rid of these extraneous blocks, and then we'll go over 1, 2, like that is, whoops, I keep doing that. So this would be a nice little view down into the carport. So, and then I dug this out like so. And then you might want to line this with your what are these called? Stone slabs here, so that it is nice and, you know, when you look down, you're not seeing like the dirt. There we go. So you're going to line that all the way around, blah, blah, blah. Just like that. And then out here, I made a little nature area. So the way I did it, I just simply took some birch saplings. Just kind of a simple way to do it. In retrospect, I kind of feel like if I really built this thing, not for like a tutorial, but like in my world, and I really wanted to spend some time on it, I would definitely build some custom trees. But for now, we're just going to go like this. And then we need the bone meal. There it is. Did you? Wow, that happens to be so much. There we go. Place the bone meal in the inventory. Thank you. And I want a tall one, but I keep getting these little stumpy ones. Drives me crazy. Okay. One there, maybe one like here. Come on, give me a tall one. That's better. And one right there. Another stumpy. All right, whatever. And then out here, what I did is I just took some, my like shovel, and I just made like a little patio-y area. Like that. Okay, maybe put a couple of lounge chairs on this. The way that I did them in the other one was so that they were facing the camera for a nice little, you know, screenshot and thumbnail for the video. But there we go. Maybe like that. And then maybe one here. Under the shade of the tree. And then I built a very derpy, very, very, very derpy little barbecue off to the side. Derpy barbecue. We need some furnaces for a derpy barbecue, don't we? A derp sauce barbecue. Here we go. Under the tree where it won't catch the tree on fire. That's a joke. Just in case you guys are like, Hex, wouldn't it actually catch the tree? Yes, it would. That's the joke. That's why it's funny. Okay, sorry. Got a little out of control there. And then just like a pathway maybe like over here to the to that door, and then maybe one that meanders a little bit over this way. Like that. That's pretty good. Pretty cool. Just like that. And then to finish that off, maybe some bushes. Some bushes. Let's see. Oak leaves. There we go. And actually on that one, I lined the entire thing with leaves, I should say. I like literally just lined the entire, this sort of bottom portion here. I'm stuck in here. Let me out! With leaves. All the way around. These leaf blocks just, I don't know. They're just magical. You put leaf blocks on your build and suddenly it doesn't look so stupid. Or it enhances it somehow. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe Mojang put some sort of special magic into these. So when you place them in your build, all of a sudden everyone thinks it looks better. But yeah, as you can see, that made a humongous difference, doesn't it? I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, then, maybe like a little small group of, like a little, just a little deal here and there. Like that. And so on and so forth. Now, probably if you built this in like a city or something, you might not need to do all of this, but I don't know. It's a nice little detail, so I'm just going to keep going. All right. Last thing is a little bit of bone meal on the ground to create some grass and a bit of texture, maybe some flowers here and there. And you know what? I'm going to put a little bit of leafy leaf right here. There we go. That's pretty cool. And like that, and like this, and like this. This, and I don't know why when you bone meal now it gives you these sort of taller grasses. I think they look weedy and gross, but I do like the shorter grasses better. Cut some of these out. Maybe you guys don't like flowers that much. I heard somebody like terraforming. It's a YouTuber, and they said to get rid of all the flowers. I was like, wait a minute, but they add color, so I don't agree with that. But if you don't like the flowers, then get rid of the flowers. Okay, cool. That, my friends, probably wouldn't sit in those if there was grass that close to them. Okay, there we go. You could also do a little bit of a tiki torch. Like this. Here and there, so maybe one here, like a little tiki torch. You put a couple of fence posts down and a flower pot on top. And one here, maybe. Oh, you know what I was going to do here? These people have just a little beverage right there, like maybe some soda or lemonade. And a torch right here. Right next to the tree where it won't burn the tree down. You guys know I'm joking now, don't you? It's pretty cool. All right. You wouldn't believe like how that adds to the build. Kind of silly, huh? There we go. Okay, cool. All right. Perhaps another time we'll do the floors on the inside and the interior. But I think that you can handle that because you're creative and you're smart. Well, guys, this has been Hex. I hope that you've enjoyed this lovely little video. I hope you try to build this thing. It took a while, but it's totally doable, and I think it looks amazing. Absolutely one of the coolest things that I've built in a while. Probably not the coolest thing I've ever built, but it's up there. It's in the top 5 or 10 or so. I don't know. It's late, and I'm tired. So, I hope that you're having a wonderful evening. or morning or day or night or whatever. And God bless. See you next time.